Hey my friends, welcome back to AttractPassion. Today I have a special message for you. Why you're seeing number 1111. We've just entered into the February 11th, and recently I've received many messages if I could make more videos about numbers. So today we'll be talking about 1111. Why this is one of the most powerful numbers in numerology. Firstly, number 11 is in numerology as a master manifester. It's a master visionary. All starts with number 1, right? Because the 0 point field is in science called the quantum field, the field of potentials. The 0 dimension is the dimension of potentials. It's like pure darkness in which all the potentials exist, but in order to see them, to recognize them, you need to turn on the light. And number 1 represents the light. Number 1 represents beginning, start of something new, or whatever could be interpreted as start. And for example, if we take a quote by Pythagoras, who was a Greek philosopher researching numbers and working with math and discovering all the secrets behind numbers and so on. He said that number is the ruler of forms and ideas and the cause of gods and demons. So he understood that all numbers have sacred messages behind them, sacred meanings. And number 1 is so important because it starts all other numbers. It's the beginning. So number 11 then is like a symbol of initiation, symbol that it's time to transform, that maybe you may find yourself in a moment where you need to transmute what you're moving through. That's number 11, but when we have 1111, it's like a wake-up call. It's like a sign that you're moving through a powerful transformation, that something is awakening within you, like a seed that you've planted a long time ago is ready to expand, to start growing, and you need to nurture it. So I will give you many different ideas what you can get out of this number, but I want to remind you that this is really powerful number. So maybe you may feel right now, because of the present energy, a bit uninspired or unmotivated. Firstly, I want to remind you that it's all part of the journey. Nature works in rhythms. So to feel aligned means to be in tune with the present rhythm and notice what it is teaching you to do right now. And same is with numbers. Every time we see a certain synchronistic repetition or sequence of numbers, it's not so much about knowing exactly what it is representing to us, but rather in tuning with ourselves. Every time we see this kind of synchronicities, we need to pause a little bit. If it is important to you, if you feel an importance, like, oh, this is a sign for me, pause a little bit and see how you feel at that moment. Do you feel aligned? Do you feel like out of alignment? Do you feel like a pleasant sensation is rising? Do you feel like a presence of maybe beings from higher realms is with you? What do you feel? It's more like a signal. Focus on your feelings, not emotions, but focus on your feelings. What do you feel? And if possible, it's a beautiful moment to go into meditation. Every time you see this kind of synchronicities, it's a beautiful moment to go into meditation and see what's the vibration behind that signal for you right at this moment. The reason that often people mention or explain those numbers as angel numbers is because they truly turn on our attention. For people who start to go through a spiritual awakening, they start to look for what we now call as New Age spirituality. But truly most of the philosophy that was simplified into the New Age spirituality is coming from ancient alchemy and magic. And the reason that people feel drawn into this kind of spiritual philosophies is because deep inside we have that wisdom and knowledge from ancient alchemy. We have that wisdom that we are creators, that we are architects of reality, that we can use energy for transmutation of something heavy into something light, from something dark into something bright. We have this within us. And usually people, when they start to go through a process of spiritual awakening, a part of them starts remembering once again who they are. But we need to go through all that process of letting go of limiting beliefs and old perceptions, so we can develop once again the ones that can help us to stay in that remembrance. So 1111, why it is so powerful? Because it's a sign of, we could call it a soul calling. Every time you see it, it may remind you of your soul call. So what's your soul call? Well, often we may hear saying, if you know your soul, you know God. So what it means? When you know your soul, you know what your soul is calling you. And that's where you recognize your soul purpose, the reason why you are here. And so I would say the reason why God put you there, the reason why you are here right at this moment. And this is your soul call. You can only recognize your soul call if you are able to deal with your emotions, if you're able to accept all of your emotional states and listen to them and be kind towards yourself and learn to be gentle with them, so you can move through them and get beneath those emotional sensations. That's where we recognize our soul call. When we were kids, we were living the soul calling. We were living out of curiosity. We were living out of that emotional state of awe for life. We had that great reverence for everything because we wanted to learn from everything. But through conditioning, we've lost that connection. But it's still present within us. Every time you see 1111, it's your reminder that within you, there's a soul call. There's a soul compass that's navigating you, helping you to stay on the path that's meant for you. That's why this sign is so important. And every time you see it, you can in tune with yourself. Like, am I right now doing what sparks that joy inside my soul? Or maybe am I not doing what I know that I should do? And it would be a great time to reflect on that, why you are not doing it, why you are not doing that thing. And it's always a beautiful reflection, because we always learn something new. So pay attention to that. The second reason it may be that if you are more on the beginning of the journey of what we call spiritual awakening, a greater awareness over your spiritual organs, your spiritual senses. It's like a sign that you are awakening to your life's purpose. So what is life's purpose? Well, it's deeply related to what I mentioned before, soul call. But purpose is more like what we create out of the soul call, what we create out of the calling. So if I give you an example, for me, what I've recognized in my life, my calling is to be a messenger, to express myself in the purest possible form I can manage to do. And then purpose is to make content that can be like a barrier or a vehicle of that message to you. And for that, I need to produce content. I need to make videos. I need to share my words. I need to do what feels right for me to do. And that's, to me, a purpose. And purpose may change But as long as we are aware of purpose, we'll always feel driven to expand, to grow, to learn, to work and develop our mental capacity, so we gain the right vocabulary that can help us to express our feelings, the energy that we feel. If we don't have the right vocabulary, we may feel blocked because we don't know what's happening within us. That's why it's so important to seek for knowledge so we can express what you feel. The third reminder every time you see number 1111 is to raise your faith. So what is faith? Faith is like trust, but that you have faith into the process that is bigger than yourself. Sometimes it's hard to trust into something that may be bigger than us because we don't understand it, we don't know what it means. But faith is like believe blindly into something that is bigger than you. And for some people it may seem like a scam, but more you start to know yourself, more you recognize that there's always something bigger about yourself. Like there's just something that brought you to where you are right now, and it was not your intellectual mind. Because I know for myself, I was never thinking that I want to do what I'm doing now. I never thought that I will ever be doing what I'm doing now. But so many synchronicities and beautiful events brought me to where I am right now, and I'm in love with what I'm doing. So there is something we cannot explain, but we can find many explanations in many different ancient teachings and many different ancient philosophies. If we go into any indigenous tradition, we will find an explanation of that power, of that force, and the easiest way to explain it is God. That's what we may find in many different teachings. And a beautiful thing about those teachings is that when you have faith in this great force, there will be always something to research. There will be always something to look up to, right? So we may recognize that people that don't have faith don't have anything to look up to, so they look down, right? And you can imagine how you feel every time when you look down and you feel all stressed out and everything, and you don't believe into anything. So 1111 is reminding you, have faith into the process. You're supported. Everything is working with you, for your greatest evolution, growth, and expansion. And you may find yourself right now in maybe in a heavy situation, but you need to know that it is just teaching you to handle your emotions a little bit better than you did last time, which is to me an important reminder. And faith in this process means to believe that all will work for you. So envision how you want things to happen. You have that power of mind not to hurt because of it, but to use it for creating the best possible outcomes for you that can help you to become who you are meant to be. So to have faith means that you have a certain vision, what kind of life you want to live, and take time with that so you can develop clarity around ideas and inspirations and aspirations around the life you want to live. And that is truly important. And that's what puts us to another important meaning and sign why you see 1111 is a reminder to focus on your goals. We all have certain goals, visions for the future, but sometimes we forget about it. Sometimes we write them down, we put them somewhere, and we forget, especially when we get stressed out. But those are the most important moments where we should get back to ourselves and refocus once again onto what's important to us. So we remind ourselves why we're doing everything that we're doing, why we are suffering, why it's worthy of move through what we are moving through, because we need to nurture the seeds that we've planted. And that's an important reminder. Focus on your goals. Of course, everything that I'm talking right now, you need to recognize what resonates with you. It's not just following my words, I'm just saying words. But you need to recognize what resonates with you, because whatever is resonating with you, that's what you need to hear, that's what you need to know. And that's something important. Another reminder that may be for you every time you see 1111 is to focus on the solutions. Focus on the best possible outcome. You may find yourself worrying. You may find yourself thinking negatively about all possible outcomes that may happen. And it's natural. Like, we've been through a lot, and you've been through a lot. And because of that, it's natural that you expect the worst case scenario because you don't want to get hurt, so you want to be prepared. So it's natural that you think that way. But you also need to understand that there is a better way of living. You can create and generate a new lifestyle, but you need to shift your mindset a little bit. You need to focus on good. You need to remind yourself that good is possible for you. And more you believe that, more of good stuff will start happening to you. It all starts with the mindset. But when we're talking about mindset, it's not just, about saying, well, change your mind. What we actually need to do is we need to recognize what is poisoning our minds. Because our natural state is looking at life from a positive perspective, because we are all good souls, good beings, we are all positive by nature. But we need to recognize what is poisoning us, so we are not in our natural state. And that's what will help us. This understanding will help us to declutter some of those things that are poisoning our minds, some of those sources of information, some of those people that are constantly bombarding us with traumas and worries and limiting beliefs. And at some point we just need to remove ourselves from that so we can focus on what's important to us. To me, I found a great solution in reading books, because in my environment, back in my past, I couldn't find people around me that would support my dream. So I found support in books. I found many great books that helped me to believe into my dreams, because I've noticed, well, other people went through what I'm going through as well, and that's what they did. So I was able to learn from different people who've been through what I'm going through. And I was able to adapt some of their habits and their beliefs and their perceptions. And eventually I've developed my own. But all those different things helped me to build a bridge between where I was and where I am right now. And it just means to focus on positive. 1111 is a good sign to focus on positive. And there's another beautiful meaning when it comes to this number. It comes to an awareness that you're moving through an important breakthrough. And usually breakthroughs require breakdowns. So if you're moving through an important breakthrough, you may be at a phase of a breakdown where it feels like everything is falling apart. And this is the heavy phase. This is the dark night of the soul. This is the phase before purification. This is the phase where we just got hit by everything. And we don't know what's truly going on. But soon you will find out. And soon you will go from that state into the state of purification, which is a state where we start letting go of the old parts of our lifestyle that are just not serving us anymore. And we'll start learning new ways of living that are just healthier for us. And that is, to me, an important phase, and everybody needs to go through it. Like, there is no way around it. There is no shortcut. when it comes to that. So the best way or the best advice to give to you in that state is to be patient, be gentle with yourself, and fully listen yourself. Take many moments in a day to pause yourself before you react, because every time we pause ourselves, we don't fall into that reactive state, but we actually observe what's going on. And when we start observing what's going on, we recognize that we can do something about it. There's always a solution for anything we're dealing with, because life never throws something to you that you couldn't deal with. Life never throws something to you that you couldn't handle. That's how it works. Heavier the challenge means greater your gift is. Heavier the challenge that you're moving through, greater your gift of life is. And it just means that in the future something really big is waiting you. And your gifts and what you're developing right now in this phase will be helping you to serve that purpose. And that is an important reminder. So my friends, I will leave you here. I hope you found something valuable today. And to everyone who needs some daily reminders, go and check out my Instagram page where I'm posting daily messages, quick short messages. And thanks to all of you for supporting my art in my Etsy shop. I draw my passion. You're all truly appreciated. My friends, I love you all. Have a beautiful day. Stay magnificent. Stay creative. And till next time, one love.